Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Whale Nerds podcast. This is episode 12, and I'm here with Eric and Caitlin.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
And I feel like we haven't podcasted in forever.
We missed you while you were in Baja.
Because, yeah, someone was out petting whales and swimming with whale sharks.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was. We also went down to 1 day a week, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you guys don't want to give us topics.
What?
I don't know.
No, because we're all about to be vacationing a whole bunch and getting back to work.
Not vacationing.
We have day jobs.
It's not vacation when you're watching whales.
What? Kind of is.
It's always a vacation when you're watching whales.
Yeah, exactly.
Lucky people.
So did I miss anything while I was gone?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, but we want to hear about your trip first because we're chomping at the bit.
There's too much to tell you guys.
Dude, just
Tell it.
freaking let it rip.
What do you want to hear about first?
How'd you get there?
Yeah.
A plane. I flew into Cabo, then we on a normal plane, and then we took like a small charter plane to.
You were with some fancy folks.
normal plane. I usually take a fighter jet to the Baja.
No, you don't.
I took a planes, trains, and automobiles. I took a charter plane from Cabo to La Paz, and then in La Paz we stayed at a hotel there. And then the first day we did, it was the second day actually, we went and swam with whale sharks, which was absolutely mind-blowing. Have either of you swum with whale sharks? Have you seen whale sharks?
No.
I've seen whale sharks that haven't been in the water with them.
Where'd you see them at?
In the water.
No, but where?
What part of the ocean?
During the El Nino, we actually had them off of Catalina.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to
remember
say,
seeing those
they had to have
photos.
come up before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It just
remember
seems like
seeing
something
those
that would
photos.
happen in SoCal.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, so we swam with the whale sharks. We had epic conditions. The ocean was just flat. The weather, there was no wind. It's flat, calm on the water. And the clarity, the water visibility was probably like 10 or 15 feet, which was really nice. And then we had a nice lunch in this secluded little remote beach off of one of the islands in front of La Paz. And then we went swim with sea lions. Which I've swum with sea lions before, but it wasn't in La Paz.
Was it nothing but sea lions? Any fur seals around or anything?
No, it was just all sea lions.
Mm-hmm.
There was triggerfish. There was parrotfish.
Nice.
That's cool.
What was that fish you saw?
I think looking at your pictures, I think there was a sergeant major.
Yeah. A military fish. I'm just kidding. Yeah, there was some cool fish. The sea lions, at first, there wasn't really any in the water. There was two males, actually. Really cool. One was just biting the other one on the butt. And they were doing that circle, like chasing each other underwater. That was pretty cool. And then we went through this like long archway to the other side of this. It's basically like a huge rock. And then we went through the archway, and man, the lighting was so cool. The backlighting through these fish in the tunnel I was like stuck in the tunnel for a little bit. They're like, "Are you gonna continue on? We got sea lions on the other side," and I'm like taking pictures of fish. So that was cool. Then we swam with sea lions at the end. We had like 3 or 4 of them cruising around, chasing each other. I just love how they blow the bubbles and like in your face, kind of.
They're so like it's like scary how agile they are underwater. You watch them, and
it's funny because we were split up into 2 groups. So we had the whale sharks in the morning, and then we all meet for lunch, and then they go to the whale sharks, and we hit the sea lions up. Mm-hmm. Well, the people that were on the first group with the sea lions, they were like, "It's funny. It seems like they always keep you in their peripherals." Well, when we were swimming with the sea lions, they were always like out in front of you. And they had their head just slightly turned, and you could see their eye looking back.
Looking at you, yeah.
Like they were always they always knew where you were, and they had a little angle, and they were for sure checking us out. And then the other, another sea lion would come up, and then they would like chase each other and leave. Yeah. And they leave like that fast, and then they're back that fast. It's pretty crazy.
So, question for you: said the first day was whale shark day?
Yeah. Well, the first day was kind of traveling. Then we walked around the city, which was really cool. La Paz, a lot of cool. Architecture there. I guess it was very like French and Spanish. A lot of people came there.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was for oysters or like pearls and stuff. So there was a lot of different architecture, which was really cool. So then technically, yeah, the second day was the full day in the water.
How did like when you guys went to the whale sharks, like how did they look for them? They just basically look for a big fin just pop out of the water? Or how did they do it?
We pretty much left the harbor. You know, we went past the like rock wall and made a left, and there's like a long stretch of sand, and like it's kind of like a little peninsula that comes out within the peninsula.
Okay,
it's on a peninsula. And
Peninsula Inception.
Whoa, Inception.
Yeah, I'm serious. And then so we're like, you know, all chatting. They're giving us the rundown about life jackets and not to dive underneath them and how to be respectful and stuff. And next thing you know, the captain's like, right there. And it's funny. As soon as I looked up, I wasn't even looking. You could start seeing them everywhere.
Oh, cool.
You do see the dorsal, and then you can sometimes see the tail swishing.
That's cool.
But mainly they're kind of like at a angle. So like a lot of times you're really just seeing the dorsal. And we're seeing their head. You can see them. They're doing that vertical feeding.
Yeah.
So you can see these little funnels of water like getting sucked into the ocean.
Oh, no way.
And so, yeah, so you can see these little like kind of like slick spotty funnel.
How big is the biggest one you think you saw?
Man, there was one that was like really big. And she was like, you know, this is probably not a juvenile. So what they're saying is where we were watching them is they were pretty much... They're all juveniles. They feed inside up. They come up in there, and then they go out to the Pacific.
Oh, okay.
So the big ones will go out to the Pacific, and then these ones will actually also go out to the Pacific right like towards the end of the season. I think it's within the next couple of months.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Because that's when usually people are seeing them out, you know, towards like Bahia de Los Angeles and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's way up there. What's the season like? Well, if someone goes, Slater, I want to do what you did, wouldn't should they be there?
So I think it's October to like May. It's really warm. They said October, November is like it's hard to get the people out of the water because it's bath water. They said it's like crazy warm. And so yeah, back to the biggest one. I think I would say is like 12 meters.
Wow.
Wait, that's like 40 feet, huh?
Yeah.
So no, less than that. I would say it was probably like 28 feet was max.
So pretty impressive.
Really big, yeah, close to 30
That's
feet.
awesome.
And the pattern on these whale sharks is just unbelievable. I don't know how they fit so many dots on the thing.
I know. I want there to be like they should make like board shorts that
you
are
get like a
like
tattoo of a full
Dude,
whale shark on you.
they have sneakers I saw going around the internet the other day that have a whale shark pattern on them.
Yeah, you see like fish patterns and stuff like that, like you know, like Dorado patterns. But I would love to have like a whale shark pattern shirt or a set of board shorts or something made like that.
Damn.
I'm sure they make them now.
Thinking I might be able to get something on my body of a whale shark.
That'd be cool. You know,
it's a new species that I haven't seen before.
And all those dots and lines, they're supposedly like a. Did they talk about like how they can ID them?
They did talk about identification, and I think it's, man, I forget. It was had to do with something towards the back, like they can use the dorsal fin and the tail because a lot of time they get hit by boats. Because they're always at the surface.
Yeah.
Not always, but they're for the most part they're at the surface. So they actually most of the ones we saw had some sort of like nick out of their tail or dorsal fin. So they use that just like they would, killer whales or dolphins. Yeah. And then also the modeling or the design that they have on them, the pattern.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was. You don't realize how wide they're. The first initial look we had at them, they were like, all right, here's one right here, and you peek over the side and you're like, whoa, this thing is huge. And because we had permits to fly the drone and we to film in the water, so it was like this, we were like, okay, what do we do? Like, should we fly? And we were both, because there was another pilot that's working on a little film with them, telling a story about some turtle stuff I'll talk about later. Well, I was like, we were just looked at each other like, do we fly? Okay, you get a couple minutes, I'll get a couple minutes, and then because we had people that wanted to get in the water too, So so we he did like a couple initial clips, and then I did some photos, and then we hopped in the water, and then just went from there. And we did and when we first got there, they were really just circling around in one area, and they just turn right at you. You're following it, off to its left or right side behind it. And the next thing you know, it's you're changing your camera settings and the thing's in your face again. And you can't swim in reverse. So you're trying to not move and slowly sink backwards away from them.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was incredible. So, and then I think once more boats started showing up, because there's obviously other tours that are in the area, the whales started to do more of a straighter swim pattern. Than circling. But what's really cool is how regulated it is there. They actually have to call into their government or whoever the harbor master is kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to get a permit every day, and you cannot get one. So you can, book a tour, and then they'll say, sorry, we didn't get one today.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we got really lucky. They had been calling in like all week long, making sure that we get a permit to to be able to just go see them in the first place. That was beyond the photography stuff. But we ended up getting permits for everything, which was just awesome. And then, we went from there, had the lunch, and then went and swam with the sea lions.
That's so cool.
And then we had a great dinner. And the next morning we woke up at like 7, had breakfast, got in the van, and then we did a 3-hour drive to Magdalena Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And we had lunch right when we got there. We broke it up. We had like a bathroom break on the way there, halfway to Magdalena Bay. We got right on the boat. They carried our luggage. They took another boat, I think, with our. I don't even know how our luggage got to the island. We left our luggage in the van, brought everything camera equipment wise onto the boat, everything we needed to go whale watching, and then we went out there and saw those gray whales.
Awesome.
Nice.
And it was horrible.
You're a
Really?
liar.
Worst whale watching
Your
ever?
photos looked like you had the worst time.
No, I was telling them how I feel about gray whales being somewhat boring.
Yeah, you tell me that all the time on the boat.
They're more scared, and they have a lot of things to worry about here in Monterey. So I told them, and then we get out there, and within like probably 20 minutes, the other boat had we had 2 boats out there with us. It was another boat with us. We were split up into groups of 5 and 6, and the other boat had a gray whale right on their boat. And at this point, we're taking pictures at their boat, and then we're all kind of like getting kind of antsy and stressed out. We're like,
I want a whale too.
Is this gonna happen to us? And then we noticed that we were all talking on our boat, so no one was doing the little splashing with the like hand, the little handle thing, and so they were. And we told our guide, we're like, hey, why are we not splashing? So then we're all like splashing, and then next thing you know, she cruises right over to our boat.
That's cool.
And then came over to the boat. We all got really close looks at it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just like lifted his head up against our boat, and then we were able to reach out and kind of give it a little pet.
Cool.
I only did it 2 times. I very lightly touched it. And then the rest of the time I was just filming. So I had so much going on. I don't even know. I wasn't doing anything. I was just
like blacked out.
Yeah, I was just like from one side of the boat to the other.
I remember my first few experiences almost forgetting that whales had blowholes. Did you get nailed?
No, it's actually that's the one thing I felt like I was really looking at was I was like, because it would come up and I'm like, is he gonna exhale? And then he would go back under, and then he would go back up, and then he really didn't give you the clue of when he was gonna actually blow, or when she was gonna do it. Actually, one of them flipped over. We were able to tell that it was a girl.
Oh, cool.
Do you guys want to explain real quick how you can tell
the mammary
slits?
Yeah. So I always tell people it's like a division. Females are like a little a line with 2 dots.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
And then the males are kind of like an exclamation point.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
All right. Well, anyways, that single whale we had ended up leaving us after a little bit. It went on its own. And then we kind of both split up. And our one boat just took off, down the beach. There was whales spy hopping, breaching, rolling over. You could see the peck fins all up and down the beaches. They were just everywhere. And so we started to follow our other boat because they were leaving too. And then Chris Kraut goes, hey, why aren't we just looking at this whale right next to us? And we turned in. So in Spanish, she goes like, turn around. Let's just look at this one. She told her captain. Well, we stop and we're just waiting for them to come up. Next thing you know, I'm looking over the side. Trade here. 2 whales right under the boat. Both lift their heads up at the same time. Just like you can't even. The mouth is like an upside down smile. And you can see it from one side of the boat all the way to the other. And I'm on the
head.
Yeah, just the mouth. Like just the rostrum. And we're all like, where's the eye at? Like it's just so far back.
Yeah.
Because the eye is like right underneath the mouth on the back.
Yeah, like right at the hinge of
right
the
at
jaw.
the edge of the jaw. Mm-hmm. And man, I'm laying on the bow looking on both sides of the front of the boat. And they just took turns, both lifting their head up. And I didn't touch the 2 second whales. And what was going on was they for sure knew one was a female, and they think maybe the other one was a male, and they were using us as the the third party.
Uh-oh.
They were doing a
It
lot.
takes 3 to tango
Yeah,
if
so
you're a whale.
Yeah, they were doing a lot of rolling around.
That would have been weird.
So that's what that's just what they assumed was going on. We don't know for sure. But yeah, and there was a lot of mom and babies in the lagoon.
Cool.
I don't feel like I could have had a better first experience. We got the really close encounters. We saw the spy hopping everywhere. The mom and babies were, the baby was rolling on top of the mom. None of the baby went to the other boat. We didn't have the baby come to ours, so we never got the mom and baby next to our boat. That's the only thing we didn't have. But I mean, I had more than enough. I couldn't even deal with what we had already.
Yeah.
So that was cool. We went back to the camp, and so when we got back to the camp, we had a margarita. We all celebrated our first experience with the gray whales, and then we actually went with them to. So this camp also does a turtle. I don't even know, what would you call it? Like not a
research and conservation.
Yeah, it's like research and conservation. So basically, what they used to be fishing. This used to be a full fishing town, and they used to catch these turtles as bycatch in these nets, and so they stopped fishing in like 1996 or 99, and these people had heard what was going on with the turtles and how they were being killed.
Yeah.
And all the things that are going on there with plastic and all the other things. And so one of the old fishermen heard people talking in his dive shop, and he was like, wow, I didn't even know this stuff was going on. He'd always hunted them. And so, he decided to stop hunting them, and they asked him to come and work in this research of the turtles. And so what they did was they used the same nets. They opened them up wider. They took the weights off the bottom, because what was happening is the turtles were drowning. There's weights on the bottom of the nets. And so if they got caught in the middle of it, they couldn't, get to the surface. So they're using these same nets, and it seemed kind of weird at first that they're still catching them. But what they're doing is they're allowing them to still breathe. So they just catch them. They bring them on the boat. They're checking these nets every 2 hours, and they only do it once every month. So it's a 24-hour period, once a month, every 2 hours. They pull these turtles onto the boat, and they measure them a billion different ways. It seems to width, height, all, across the shell both ways.
Yeah.
From the top of the shell to they have two little points at the end of their shell.
Yeah.
And so from the longest point to the top of the shell, and then they weigh it, and then they tag it, and then they send it on its way. And basically, they're just gathering data to see what the population's doing.
And it was mainly greens you saw them.
It was all green sea turtles. And I think from what I sounded like I heard, they do get occasional, maybe a hawksbill or something else.
Yeah.
But mainly it's just green sea turtles. And yeah, it was pretty cool. I think the one weighed about 60 pounds.
Wow.
But before we got there, one of them weighed over 100 pounds.
Wow.
So it was a big old turtle.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, so it was really cool to get to see the turtles up close and watch them do the measurements and all that on them. It was funny because I'm not used to hearing centimeters, and I helped with some of the measurements, and I'm like,
what's a centimeter?
and then on top of that, it's in Spanish, so it's a really big number that I don't know. So that was cool. It was really cool that they do this all through the night, and so they were willing to take us out every 2 hours if we wanted to do it through the night. Most of us were so tired, so we did. I think one group did at 9 p.m. And then after that, the crew actually just sleeps on the ponga, and they wake up every 2 hours, check the net, and then measure them if there's any. And then throughout the whole night, they only got one more in the very morning, and they actually measure. They bring it to land, and they measure it there because it's easier than what they do on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they let them go, and then the next morning, we woke up, went out in the lagoons again, saw some gray whales. We didn't have any friendly encounters. And then we went and looked at some more frigates.
Oh, cool.
I totally skipped that.
I haven't seen any bird pictures from you.
Yeah, we saw there was a huge rock wall that they put. It's kind of a long story. They used to farm oysters for pearls, and this guy created a big rock wall, so the tide would go in on one side, so the oysters could get the oxygen or the new water.
Fresh water.
Yeah, and then it would go back out. They eventually stopped that. It was a governor at one point that was doing it, and anyways, it's done now. But this huge rock wall is now filled with frigates.
Oh, cool.
And it was cool because some of them still had the breeding, they had their big
little red pouch. Yeah.
One of them had it blown out. So it was pretty cool. It was a big bubble.
Cool.
It's like he's blowing a bubble, like bubble gum. So yeah, they were saying that they have the biggest wingspan to body ratio of any bird.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
So wingspan to body, not the biggest wingspan, but
Yeah.
wingspan to body ratio.
Compared to the body size and weight.
Yeah, and then 2 to 3 weeks they can fly
Yeah,
at
I
one
was just gonna
time.
say that.
Really?
Can't they
Yes,
be
2
in
to
the air
3
for
weeks.
2 to 3 weeks at a
And
time?
they actually
Oh,
kinda
okay.
do the same thing as dolphins. They'll shut down half their brain.
Yeah.
And they're actually taking like micro naps, like
Yeah.
it's like a couple seconds, and then they wake up again.
Yeah, it's pretty. Frigate birds are pretty crazy.
Yeah, so they can't touch the water because they don't have the oils like a pelican or a gull would have.
Yeah.
So
okay.
the water would just soak into them
Uh-huh.
underneath their feathers. So the only way they'd be able to get out is if they could get to land and like crawl out,
Yeah.
and then they'll dry off. So they can't 2 to 3 weeks out there. I mean, we've seen frigates here in Monterey, and if they're nesting down in Mexico, that's
Yeah.
a flight.
Been in the air for a while.
And there's the albatross that goes from Hawaii to here, and there's in Antarctica, there's the wandering. I mean, they're all over, but
But at least they can take a rest. Yeah.
yeah, at least they can sit on the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gnarly.
I think Steve Howell told me that one time. He's a bird guy from California, and that just like blew my mind. I was on the boat, and he was like, "Oh yeah, frigate bird's gonna be like in the air, like flying around for like 2 or 3 weeks." I was like, "Excuse me,
Yeah,
what?"
yeah, I totally believe it. The way like they were talking about, they were like really like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I was like, dang, that's.
He's the one that also
crazy.
told me the fact about like albatross will forage in California while on nest in Hawaii, so they have to be able to fly like one way 2 to 3 days.
I don't even.
like,
How
as the
far
slowest.
is it? 5,000 miles to Hawaii? No, not that far.
I think it is. I don't know.
I think it is.
Google,
I don't know.
Google, let's Google Maps it.
Mom.
Will
Yeah,
Google Maps
so,
tell you to buy an airplane ticket, or will it actually tell you?
So then frigates, and I feel like there were some other birds.
Any boobies? You probably have
Oh yeah, there
there's
was some
boobies there sometimes. Yeah.
Was it the blue
Yeah,
boobies?
they get them there.
And then there was a lot of great blue herons
Oh,
nesting.
its air distance is 2,471 miles from like the Central Valley
Okay,
area.
yeah, so close to 3, but that's still 3,000 miles is pretty far.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's pretty cool.
Plus, they're not just going straight; they're going all
They're
over
following
the
the
map.
wind,
They
yeah.
probably do about 7,000.
Plus,
round
the
trip.
albatross are actually out at Midway, so that's even further.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was incredible, and I highly, highly recommend you going down to Baja and see these whales. There's 4 major lagoons. There's San Ignacio, Magdalena Bay, Guerrero Negro, and what's the other one? Scammons Lagoon. And definitely, I want to recommend that you look for a company that has good reviews and that you can tell would be respectful. Because I did see some stuff in the lagoons that I thought was not like the best practices. It wasn't from our boat; it was from another boat, and it looked like they had been ended up talked to by the authorities. So just look for a boat that looks like they'd be respectful. They are. It is very regulated, and I know it's even more regulated in San Ignacio.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd probably be hard to find a bad boat.
Yeah.
But just keep your eye out. Make sure you're not going with someone that's gonna harass the whales, just so you can get a good look.
And let's tell people the time they should go there if they want to do a great
yeah.
whale encounter,
So-
Slater.
February is like when they're just starting to get there, so I definitely want to go at the end of March. I think that's when all the males have left, and then it's really just mom and babies, and I think that they're usually the most friendly. So yeah, end of March?
Will the whales still be there when I get there?
I don't know. You're
Yeah.
going pretty late. No,
I
I think it's gonna be even. I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
more friendly when you get there.
Yeah,
Okay, I have to look up and see if I can see some whale
Yeah.
sharks too.
Because people had went the week before I got there, and they said, it was all right. Like, they weren't
Yeah.
super friendly. They said, I think it's going to get even better.
Yeah.
And it was better when I got there, so I bet it's going to be even better
all
when
my
you get there.
Baja Lagoon trips have been the end of March into like the first few
Yeah.
days of April, and they've been spectacular. So yeah, you guys are right.
Yay.
Late
I bet
March.
end of April, they're
I'm
probably
excited.
gone, huh?
Oh yeah,
So, yeah, it has to be end of March. I would say,
Because by end of April, they're in Monterey.
but, I mean, if
getting consumed.
you can get there anytime in March, it's still probably a good time to go. But the later in March, the better.
Ooh, I'm
Good
excited.
luck.
I'm excited.
Yeah, guys,
it
and
sounds like
Caitlin,
it was a really cool
Caitlin
trip.
leaves a few days for
Yeah,
a
10
similar
days
trip.
that I get
Yeah, I'm
to
excited
go.
to hear
Woohoo.
about her experience down there.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And I hope you try to see the whale sharks at least on your
Yeah,
way
I'm
back,
gonna
if
have
they're
to-
still there. I think they will be.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up and see if we can go. We have one day in La Paz before
You're gonna
we
try to go there too?
fly back.
Well, she flies into La Paz. She might as well, if she gets into La Paz and can set up a day on her way back.
We could just adjust our itinerary to go back.
Hey, Caitlin,
to
can I have
wherever-
some time off next week?
What?
Where are
Nothing-
you going?
Nothing.
You want to go down there?
Whale sharks, yeah. I haven't been in the water with a whale shark.
Just come
we
meet us
could.
there.
You know what? We could go in August.
That'll be Bay of LA for August, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can go.
I mean, you could meet me there, Eric.
Is that what Bahia means? Does that mean bay?
Bay, yeah.
See?
Dude,
Si,
you
senor.
guys are speaking the Spanish.
Okay, meet me there on the 28th of March, Eric, and then we'll
Can I have the day off? I gotta ask my boss.
Yeah, you can have the day off. Actually, you're working for your other boss that day, so yeah, you can have the day off.
Oh, okay.
Did I leave out anything about my trip?
It was with the Oceanic Society.
Oh, yeah.
You got to meet some cool peeps.
You guys, they
Like one
were
of the Crap
awesome
brothers.
people. I didn't leave that out. I just didn't get to that. They were awesome people. Yeah, we did have one of the Crap brothers on the boat. We had a lot of great people on the boat, but I don't know if you guys have heard of, what is it? I don't know. Zaboomafoo. And it's basically like there's two brothers that do like wildlife stuff, and they have a lot of awesome shows. I think they have some animated ones now, and then they do a lot of live stuff, so that's pretty cool.
Zaboomafoo was one of my jams when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Jeff
I don't remember it a lot, but I know I've
Hunter.
seen it.
Zaboomafoo.
But the Oceanic Society not only does a lot of cool ocean conservation, especially with turtles, they also do a lot of trips. They do stuff to like Indonesia, Tonga, Trinidad. They do a lot of stuff that
even in
Galapagos. Yeah, they have whale watching in San Francisco. Yeah,
they're the Farallon people.
Yeah, they're the Farallon
Yeah,
people.
they asked me to go to the Farallons. We should go up there and do that.
Yeah, let's go.
I've never
Can
been
we
to
go see
Farallons.
sharks? Actually,
Fall.
Yeah.
It's a good time for that.
He said that we'd love the Farallon Islands. He said it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're really pretty.
Yeah, it's a cool
I'm
place.
always down.
So yeah, let's go. Yeah, so they do tons of trips. You guys should definitely check them out, Oceanic Society, and see if there's something that interests you guys, especially that Baja trip. And I went to Magdalena Bay, but their trips they do San Ignacio. Their main one,
do?
yeah, their main trips are San Ignacio.
Oh, cool.
I think ours was more of a special one because we did the whale sharks.
Yeah.
And the sea lions and
Yeah, you
that.
guys jammed in a lot of stuff in 4 days. That was pretty incredible.
Yeah, people. So I think, wow. Well,
And everything worked out. I mean, that was a pretty
No,
flawless trip.
every single time something happened, we're like, wow, we like literally checked that off. Like,
yeah, like
it
the weather was good. The
perfect
animals
weather
were
for
there,
the whale
like,
sharks.
You got the permits.
Man, it couldn't have worked. That's what I'm saying. It couldn't have worked out better. Like everything in a whole. And the food was great. They cook a lot of good food down there.
Yeah, we've been knowing this, especially the three of us.
which boats they use when you're in Mag Bay? Was there a certain company they used?
Shoot.
whale
Well,
sharks?
it was Red Tours, their
Okay.
boats, but
But they were good.
they were not, we had like the
Good to the whales.
yeah, we had the nicest boats
Good.
on the bay for sure. They were painted nice too. They look good for the photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, they-
Photographically pleasing.
no,
Yeah.
even the design on the bow, like if you look at my pictures from the drone, like the bow was like perfectly like symmetric. Like,
Yeah,
it
it
just
actually
looked
was
good.
pretty. It was
It's good to
pretty
mention who you use because, like me and you were discussing earlier, a lot of people think, oh, Baja, that's like a free for all. I'm gonna ride the gray
No,
whale.
it was very regulated.
Yeah, it's highly regulated over there, folks, because
had
these
new
guys are
wristbands and
making
stuff every
these people are making a living, off of these animals, so they want to protect them. So don't do anything dumb down there. These people love these animals.
Well, you
and-
said the
yeah.
federales came and checked you, huh?
Yeah, in the whale shark zone, they said every day they check people. And they said depending on who you get, sometimes they're pretty cranky and some are very nice. They said we got the good person. No, he was really nice.
That's awesome.
He checked our permits and he said go ahead. I don't even know what he said, to be honest. I was in the water. They said just stay close to the boat while we talked to him, just in case.
Oh, you were like they let the swimmers stay in the water while they came up and checked your
Yeah,
stuff.
because they just wanted to see our permits.
Oh,
for like
okay.
Because we had
Okay.
all the photography gear and stuff.
Yeah.
And once we had we all had our permits printed out on paper, so they just.
That's good.
Check them
It's
out,
kind of a
yeah.
good feeling to know that they care,
Yeah,
and
it
they're
was-
always watching and protecting the animals.
It's funny because everybody's like, "Oh, you could do whatever you want." No,
No, exactly.
You can't get away with
you can't do that.
anything.
Yeah.
There was actually on our way out of the whale shark zone, a sailboat was trying to come in there into the shallow waters where the whale sharks are, and woo!
Yeah.
they got him. They were like, "You got to get out of here."
That's so cool. And
Yeah.
Caitlin, where you're gonna go, it's the same thing. They actually got a research camp over there, and right from that area, they actually watch the amount of pangas that go out there. It's only a certain amount are allowed out there and only, for a certain amount of time. So
Okay.
yeah, these
that's
places
good.
are highly monitored, which is great.
Yeah, it was incredible, you guys. I want to go down there and like stay down there for all of the. I don't want to watch the gray whales except for April and May here.
That's not even like watching the gray whales. You want to watch the killer whales eat the gray whales.
The same whale you touched might get consumed.
I know. I'm actually.
I'll know it. It had
I'm gonna-
really like stuff around his blowholes. Had some mark. I'll know it. If that baby gets hit here, I'll know it.
You're gonna yell, I know him.
I'm gonna
I'll probably
have
start
a
crying.
serious dilemma if I go down there and have an incredible experience and then I'm on a whale watch trip. Like, 2 weeks later and it's
Yeah,
getting
if
eaten.
I was able to like see
How am I going to narrate that and be like, I was just petting this baby gray whale?
Slater, so now you're in the exclusive club. You're obviously you take pictures, and when you put up that picture of people touching a gray whale, you're gonna get those people who go, "Why are you bugging those whales?" What are you gonna tell them?
I don't think I'm gonna put it up, to be honest.
Really?
Just for that reason. Yeah, because someone already wrote me before I even went down there, and they were like, "Don't touch them, leave them the heck alone." But they said other worse words, and I just was like, you know what? Like these whales. Now I've been there, so I can
exactly.
say this. They were 100% like seeking out the boat.
Exactly.
They were setting their head on the boat. They were pushing the boat, and they were sideways. They could see our hands. I mean, and if they didn't want to be touched, they would pull away. Like there was, I think the one let us touch it, and the other one, it didn't ever put his head up that much.
Exactly.
It was just right under the water.
Yep.
If they want to be touched, yeah, they definitely would.
Yeah, I always tell those people, just go there. That's all I gotta say,
And even the guy on our boat, you know what he said? He said, don't touch them. Like, he was like, don't touch them, until it's something. And, like, you can tell when it's, like, the feeling of, like, you should reach out and pet this whale. And he was basically saying, like, be very, like, his speech was, a very respectful speech to the whale. And I thought when the way he said it, it was basically, I was like, okay, we're not going to touch these animals. But then, once they come to he wanted you to realize that when they come to the boat, like, don't reach out for these animals.
Yeah, until they come
when they're
to
4
you.
feet away, don't have someone hold your feet and, like, reach out. You know what I mean? It was like, wait till they're rubbing the boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Then, so I know something that we haven't talked about yet.
What's that?
I didn't talk about how they felt when I touched them.
Oh, yeah. Go for it. How did they feel to you?
Actually, I want to talk about something else first. Do you know that they have hair on their chin, you guys?
Yeah.
I mean, so we always talk about how they're mammals and they're born with hair, but it kind of gets rubbed off. I never thought about where it would be on them, but the gray whales, these were full-grown gray whales, and they had hair on their chins.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of like me. Not quite as much, but they had some.
Yeah, they're like in those little dimples, yeah.
Yeah, so, in some of my shots, you can see these, like, clear little
Cool.
stiff hairs.
Yeah.
Kind of like I guess the same. They kind of look like the ones on the tubercles of humpbacks.
Yeah. Little whiskers.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to what they feel like. They are soft, squishy, and bumpy, and it's kind of hard to explain.
Use my analogy. I always tell people they feel like a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah, exactly. Like you feel like you don't want to press because like you could poke into it almost.
Oh no!
I don't know. That's maybe.
I'm scared.
No, like I seriously like lightly.
You broke the gray whale.
Well, I like lightly rubbed across it. I feel like I didn't get everything I wanted done. I wanted to touch the barnacles. I wanted to touch the whale eyes, but instead I just touched how they have those like indents all over their rostrum.
Yeah.
I kind of just rubbed my hands across those and pulled back. I had my camera was already.
Well, that gives you a reason to go back.
Oh, I'm going back every year from now on. They can't pay me to say it. Wait.
Okay, so now I need to touch the barnacles and the lice.
Hey, don't be doing what I didn't do. No, I did it. I just can't recall it.
You blacked out.
It's in my video. There's a video of me
It was so magical. You just blacked out.
Maybe I'll put the video on my story.
I'm scared that's going to happen to me. I'm just going to be like, I don't know. I took a GoPro video and I was I can't remember anything.
I need the tour guide. I'm like going from one, because we're going from one side of the boat so fast. You just like, I kind of need her in the leg. Not really. She's like, it's okay. I actually hit you. You didn't hit me. It was all going so fast,
She's going to call you. I still have a bruise.
A WWE SmackDown.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, stepping on my drone. Like, I had to hide it. It was just getting crazy. Yeah, so it was amazing.
Yeah. Super jealous.
What else do we have?
I'm like almost mad every time you post a photo because I'm like, what the hell?
I'm running out. I used up all the good ones already. What happened while I was gone? I know there was some news about someone that ended up in a whale's mouth.
Yeah.
Yep.
And where was that? In Africa?
South Africa. It was a Brutus whale. And
I kind of watched some of the interview and then I turned it off. I just kind of felt bad. That's exactly the website, Live Scientist, that I watched it on.
Basically, it sounds like he was filming.
Yeah.
It has to be. This is the time of year for sardine run, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So he was filming in a bait ball and kind of like lost track of his surroundings, and then the whale lunged and he ended up in the whale's mouth.
Yeah, I listened to his interview, and he's like, well, I was right up next to the school of bait, and then, it just went black. And then I felt pressure. And then he's like, and then I just felt pressure on my hips. And I was like, whoa. And
yeah, because that was the two sides of the mouth right on his waist. Like.
And then the whale just kind of, I guess, obviously released, and he probably just, panicked his way out of there. But
yeah,
you guys have to just Google whale.
Man swallowed by whale.
Yeah, it'll come up. Whale in someone's, or a person in someone's, a whale's mouth.
And in case we got to mention this again, folks, it's not intentional. And even if the whale's not even capable of really ingesting him.
Yeah, so Brutus whales are like really fast lungers. All the videos I've seen of them are like everything's really, really rapid compared to other whales.
Him up out of the water because he was in the water.
You did. You can see his back. Is that picture?
Yeah, this is there. Like he's like perpendicular to the whale's mouth. His head's in. These are his flippers.
Baleen plates.
Yeah. I want to know what happened to the whale's baleen. That's my question. Is like, did it damage all those plates and they fell out, or like, is it that flexible that it just like bent with the guy's body, or like what happened?
I bet they get bend in their mouth too. So
yeah. That's pretty nutty. It's so funny because like people ask like, oh, did whales ever get anything in their mouth? Well, we used to say never a person, but
birds, yeah.
Here we are, 2019.
Too bad. I wonder if he had like something that had like ISO 1 billion, and he just took a picture inside the mouth.
I don't know. Yeah, because he was filming. We were
literally just talking about this like 2 episodes ago, right? About the bird ingestion and that paper.
Yeah.
So what else is happening in whale news?
Incredible.
I think that's about it, right? That made it pretty big and viral.
I went whale watching today.
Yeah, that was the most. That
was
the
you
most
went too with me.
Whale thing that happened.
Yeah, we saw gray whales.
Thing that happened. We saw gray whales today. We saw gray whales last week too when I went out, but the weather was pretty rough. We almost saw a
humpback, but it
actually, if you guys,
you saw humpbacks.
Yeah, so
Eric.
Listen, guys, real quick. We were all on the water today, but in different parts of Monterey.
Yeah,
Slater and I were on the same boat, but Eric was not.
I was out of Moss Landing, and you know what? Literally this week, it seems like someone turned on the spring switch
for everywhere in California.
Yeah. Humpbacks. We had about probably approximately 10.
Oh, that makes me feel so
in front of Moss Landing. There was some lunge feeding. Their black-footed albatross numbers have been gone up.
Yeah, I've seen a lot.
We actually saw Kate counted like 12, about a dozen of them in the area. They were actually eating what we think right now. I gotta look at my photos of possibly a little, a very small, maybe 3 to 4 foot. Looks like a sleeper shark.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so I
never even heard of that.
Yeah, I can probably.
Didn't you see lunch feeding out of Monterey over the weekend too?
Yeah, we had lunch feeding. Well, we had last weekend. Yeah, so
you and I had lunch feeding like a couple days before I left to Mexico too. One time, it happened once, but I mean, God, did you see all the lunch feeding down in San Diego?
I know. Scotty was saying it was like over 30 whales.
Dominic had some crazy lunch feeding videos on the drone, and Chelsea had some lunch. They've all had See, that's the difference between humpbacks in Southern California and humpbacks here. Their humpbacks always have common dolphins with them. Mm-hmm. Like every time I've seen humpbacks in Southern California, we have commons with them.
There's common dolphins everywhere.
Yeah, true, but
they're pretty common.
I wish they would. I wish they would commonly find their way up here.
Yeah, but we're seeing a lot of food out there.
A
lot of food out there. A lot of
anchovies,
active birds on anchovies. So
there's some big bird works today that we went through that no whales or dolphins were with.
Yeah, so things are changing.
Yesterday to us, huge piles of fish and birds.
Yeah. Spring's coming.
So are the whales.
Our whales are coming back.
The gray whales are coming back. The humpbacks are coming back. The killer whales are going to come back.
It's almost April, exactly.
It's almost that time.
You can see all of that in one day in April.
You could see seriously 8 to 10 species of cetaceans in one trip in April.
April's badass.
If you have blue whales, fin whales, humpback whales, you see a gray whale, you see killer whales, and then you see a couple different, like a mixed pod of dolphins, boom.
Yeah, they did have a mixed pod actually, a few days ago.
Yeah,
I saw some photos of Rizzo's, northern right whale dolphins, and white sides together. That's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know what, you guys? I want to count the exact number of times, would be impossible, that northern right whale dolphins show up to Monterey Bay this year. Have they come yet since I've been?
Once.
Since this year's?
I've only heard one report this
year.
We
heard one too, but we never. I think we were headed down to them, then we got stopped.
Actually,
okay, so 2 reports this year.
Yeah,
Tinker City saw maybe.
Me and Danny actually had like 5 the other day. We literally had one come at the boat. So
yeah, so we're already losing count.
Maybe about 4. I want to say 4 or 5, maybe.
How about just how many times I see them?
How many times have you seen them?
0. Well, this year. You guys laugh, but I'm gonna become the northern white whale dolphin whisperer.
You better, because I like them. They're my favorite.
I'm gonna get them tail walking in front of the boat.
That'd be
Those
awesome.
tiny little flukes. They're always they're like so unproportional.
And I want them to do it backwards too, so I can see the underside of their belly
You
with
can
all
see
the
their
water.
tuxedo pattern.
Yeah. One day.
Yeah, I just want to see him, porpoise a little bit. Yeah. Foul riding's cool too.
Wow. So I'm excited for spring to come.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like after you get your gray whale, are you going there this year or not?
No, I'm gonna go next March. Yeah.
Yeah. So it would have been cool if we all went this year. Too bad Eric's a lame-o and he's not going.
I had to watch the fort.
Yeah, but you've been there a bunch of times, so.
Yeah,
How many
you have
times?
to
Like
hold
more
down
than
the
3
fort
times?
while we
Yeah,
go.
I've been to Baja quite frequently, but the last few years I finally got to concentrate on whales.
Yeah, well, how are you going to go to Baja when we got K-dubs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to really, this is a year of seeing cool stuff. I can sense it.
Dude, I hope my May trip to Massachusetts is good too.
Oh, yeah, can I go? Oh, it's on Margot's birthday. Margot, can we go on your birthday to see whales?
Do you guarantee right whales?
No, but I'm really hoping.
Oh,
you guys, I'm gonna cry on the podcast.
The
if
owner
I
of
see right
Oceanic
whales.
Society was telling me I need to go to South Africa to see the right whales.
Hey,
And I was like,
I'll go with him. If
yes.
Yeah.
you need a guide.
If it's
I'll
right
go.
whales, I want to go.
He kept saying, you need to go here. You need to go here. You need to go here. I'm like, I know. Don't rub it in. Man,
Someday.
they've been to so many cool places. I was just in shock and awe listening to all the places they've been.
One day, that will be us.
I want to be a professional traveler.
Me too.
Professional travel.
Sorry, whale watch companies, but I'm on the move for traveling.
We got a podcast while we travel.
Yeah, something. What else, you guys? What else is new in the whale?
Marman papers came out some pretty interesting ones actually today.
Yeah, what'd you see?
It was that one I kind of briefly mentioned to you about depression chains. Sounds depressing and boring,
yeah.
but it's actually pretty cool. I guess some researchers with this really sophisticated sonar were down in South America kind of checking out the seafloor bottom, and they noticed these little kind of chain of like ridges down on the bottom of the seafloor. And we're talking about way down there. We're talking about 4,000 meters underwater. Convert that into feet, Caitlin.
4,000 meters?
Yeah.
12,000 feet?
Hold the phone. Where the heck is Atacama Trench?
Towards South America.
Wait, so we're talking like more than 2 miles deep?
Yeah.
12,000 feet?
So it turns out these
What?
trenches are kind of the width and length of a certain beaked whale. So that's kind of interesting.
Is it Cuvier's or what was it?
Yeah, there's Cuvier's, and they actually find. Slater's right next to me. Show him. Look at this.
Sediment like? Is it like really
So what is
fine
that?
sand?
That's actually, they believe that these animals are going down to the seafloor, kind of sifting around a little bit.
What are they even getting though? Like what?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like some like sort of thing that gets them like
Why would
high,
you be
like
diving-
dolphins with the pufferfish.
Diving
Yeah.
12,000 feet just to go get high? What?
Hey, you
I
never
don't
know,
know
dude.
about
People get
that.
sad.
Yeah,
Or whales get sad.
That's a new paper that came out today. I kind of quickly glanced over that, but if you guys, I think we mentioned this mailing list many times. Marman mailing list, and it's just a collection of amazing papers that come out, a few times a week, and it's a great resource for you wanting to learn literally the latest, in cetacean news out there, and also a great resource for you younger folks who want to get into the field, because they also list
Internships
internship
and
opportunities,
jobs,
volunteer
yeah.
opportunities, jobs, all kinds of good things like that. But reading this paper, they think possibly sperm whales and Cuvier's beaked whales they can literally go down to the bottom of these deep parts and could be down there looking for goodies, and they're going literally to the bottom, causing a little
Yeah, this is
imprint of
saying-
themselves, kind of like a whale snow angel.
3,999 and 4,258 meters. That is insane.
Wait, they're going down. What?
The Atacama Trench. So that's like way down in
Mm-hmm.
South America, like Argentina,
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering. How
like
far
southern Argentina.
down? How big is that trench
Or
compared to
Chile.
like the Mariana
I'm not really
Trench?
sure. But if you guys are interested in reading this, it's, the name of the article is Depression Chains in Seafloor of Contrasting Morphology, Atacama Trench, Margin. So it's a paper written by Marsh et al. So
do you guys know?
Pretty new news out there about literally whales going down more than a mile down, touching the bottom.
More than 2 miles down.
2 miles down, yeah.
Do you guys know if the Mariana Trench is just the biggest in the Pacific, or is it the biggest period?
The deepest period.
Deepest period. Okay.
Yeah, close to 6 miles.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yes.
You never know. New stuff comes up all the time.
Yep, exactly.
I bet there is another trench bigger.
There actually is talk that there is a spot deeper than the deepest spot. It's just that they can't even really. It's
they can't even measure it.
Reach it or measure it. Yeah. So
is it still in the Marianas
I don't
system?
think it's the heat. I think it's just still accessibility and the technology. They to verify it, they need a little bit more technology.
Yeah, they need one more app on their phone, probably.
Wow.
It's just crazy to think, like, where do we come up with this technology? We're just like, how do we go? What is that? Whoa.
Oh, so this is all the sonar. This is.
Well, yeah. So this is crazy. So they're referencing that the deepest dive of a Cuvier's is 2,992 meters with a dive tag on, but then they're speculating that like up to 4,000 meters of beaked whales making these depressions in the bottom.
Yeah, what they're saying is the depressions are literally like their size. They're about.
What if it's a squid?
They're about a meter and a half wide, and they're about 8.5 meters long. The length of a Cuvier's beaked whale.
So is that a squid right there?
That's a ratfish.
Far left.
That's like hagfish. That's some kind of fish or sleeper shark or something.
Oh, okay. So whatever that is, I mean, what if it's like a shark or something in the sand?
Never know.
Mobile fauna observed at 4,000 meters depth.
I've seen a ratfish. Where was the ratfish? How deep?
Crustacean on a fish tail. They're all about 4,000 meters. Is what
Dang, ratfish can go down to 4,000 meters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
easy.
we see them here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
I've
cover a
seen
lot.
them on the fishing boat.
But our deepest fish, I think they have checked out Marianas Trench, and there's actually something known as a snailfish that's thriving down there.
Well, they're saying that there's several benthic octopi species down there, and beaked whales are squid eaters, so octopi is a similar cephalopod.
Yeah, so this is some new latest talk there about our two deep diving whales and some possibly some physical evidence that they're doing this.
Man,
literally,
I want to know
kind of
more.
like as you're a kid, hey, I bet you can't swim down and touch the bottom of the pool. Well, these two animals look like they're literally touching the bottom of the pool.
Wow. That's intense.
Yeah, so
That's really
it's like
cool.
every week the ocean gets more incredible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or every like 3 seconds, probably.
This is why I love marine science.
Yeah, I should get a job like
you don't love it as much
working
as
in
me.
the ocean. Oh wait,
What?
nothing. Just kidding.
Speaking of getting a job in the ocean, I've gotten this message 2 times in the last
Listen to
week.
episode 8.
Is it 8?
8. How
So
we became whale
if
nerds.
you are interested in working towards working in the ocean, listen to episode 8 of the Whale Nerds podcast.
Yeah, man. But the long and short of it is just try and get your foot in the door somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere near
Volunteer
the ocean.
somewhere or pick up a job that's like in an adjacent field, like, working in the office, even though you want to be on the water, something like that.
Yeah. Well,
You're not going to make a lot of money doing it, but you do a lot of fun stuff.
sometimes it's not about the money
Yeah.
until you need to pay your bills.
Until you can't pay rent.
So we covered my trip to Baja. We talked about the guy that swam into the Brutus whale's mouth. We talked about this Cuvier beaked whale crazy depression dive.
Springtime's on the horizon for the California coast.
Go whale watching.
Yeah, go whale watching.
Yeah, you guys come whale watching. Come whale watching with us.
Pretty much anywhere in California is like going good right now.
It's popping.
All kinds of great sightings of pretty much every harbor in California, as long as the weather's good.
Yeah, so if you guys have a chance.
And the weather's starting. I feel like the weather's getting better. We haven't had as.
Well, for the next few days, we got a break in the weather.
Did you look at the future?
He's sad. He's depressed now that we've rained on his parade.
We literally
No.
rained on this parade. There's a little bit of rain next week, but things
Yeah,
are
so it's
looking
like
a lot
it's
better.
like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Or
Is
Thursday,
the
Wednesday,
wind?
Friday or
What I
something.
want to know is the wind ever going to stop in Monterey?
Yeah, I'm gonna start blowing it the opposite direction.
Wind blows.
I'm gonna get really big fans that go the opposite way.
Blow it back.
That's why I tell people all the time. I'm like, either turn that fan off on the ocean or point your fan out there.
All right, you guys. Well, I think we covered a bunch for this podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much if you made it this far. Episode 12, which is awesome.
Woohoo!
Glad to be back from my trip down there and to continue doing these podcasts.
I'm glad you're back too, because I'm tired of you having so much fun without us.
Sorry, I can't. I'm gonna do it again, you guys, like over and over. It's my goal to have as much fun as I can in the ocean.
It's not a bad goal.
Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram. It's Whale Nerds. Make sure you guys send us some DM of topics. We didn't post anything. I was gone. None of us posted anything over the last week. But
I posted in the story once.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get back on it. Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys, and keep those questions coming. If we didn't answer your question this one, well, we kind of did trip report here, but I am those of you who asked me personally, I have been writing them down, so I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. So keep those topic suggestions coming.
Yeah, maybe what we can do is do like a trip report, and then do a questions day. So maybe that's how we can break it up.
So maybe next week we'll do questions.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking maybe we can add another day again. I like doing them, but we do run out of topics quick. Well, maybe in the future, maybe in the summer, because in the summer
have to take more trips.
Yeah, I'm down. Send me wherever. Well, so in the summer we're definitely gonna have more to talk about.
Oh yeah, of course.
And the killer whale season. Woo! So we could do like trip report question.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted if we're gonna change the posting schedule. But for now, we're doing once a week.
All right, you guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, everyone.